2-2 at Anfield, and well, who saw that one coming? Honestly, I thought if United were going to get a result, it wouldn't have surprised me a huge amount. It's a derby game, it can happen, but I would have thought they would have been backs to the wall kind of job, 0-0, and we would have dominated. But it wasn't like that. It was a very end-to-end chaotic game. It was scrappy. We were very, very sloppy on the whole, and coming from 1-0 down, we had that period of where we really started to assert our dominance, turn the screw, get our 2 goals to flip the game on its head, and looked like we'd run away with it, but we didn't. So ultimately, it's got to feel like 2 points dropped for that reason. But you can't at the same time complain about United getting a result. They were very much in this game, matching us, and you'd argue they had more fight. And they very nearly stole it right at the end. Harry Maguire, of all people, in acres of space for a cutback in the box, and he just absolutely fluffs his line, skies it. Thankfully, I was watching this game in the pub with some friends, and I was ready to walk out. Yeah, quite the statement that walkout would have made with 30 seconds left on the clock or so. But I'm so glad he missed that. If Harry Maguire scored the winner at Anfield, can you imagine? Can you imagine the memes? And I spoke of Man United having more fight in that game. Well, this stat here was absolutely alarming when I saw it on the timeline. Liverpool are the first side to not make a single tackle in the first half of a Premier League game this season. And in the second half, it didn't improve that much either. All the duels were just going United's way for the most part. It felt very similar to that defeat to Forest, our only Premier League defeat of the season, of course. And it was just one of those games. You have games like this sometimes where nothing seems to quite click into gear. And it was one of those days for us where everything seemed to not quite work for us, but would work for United. And a moment that kind of epitomised that right towards the end was our attack landing at a United feet to want to clear it. Half-assed clears it, and it just turns into a 50-yard crossfield pass and finds a United player by pure chance. And it's just one of those days. It just wasn't meant to be for us. And then when we talk about not winning those duels, not winning those tackles, of course, that's a defensive effort across the whole side and won't be pinpointed on one player. But a guy who had an absolute stinker today, and we can't shy away from it, is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Roy Keane, quite funnily here, said, all this talk about him going to Real Madrid, with defending like that, he should be going Tranmere Rovers, who then tweeted themselves. Tranmere Rovers tweeted saying they do not want him. Ouch. But listen, it was not Trent's day. He had a stinker for the most part. There was maybe that 10-15 minute spell where we put the foot on the gas a little bit, took those 2 goals that we got to flip the game, and he started to take a bit of control as well, looked a bit more confident. It seemed he was finding his groove, only to fall apart and again become really sloppy, give away silly passes. And I can't exactly remember if he gave it away for the second goal. I think he did, but he definitely, I remember, gave it away for the build-up to the first Man United goal. And it's one of those things where it's been a rough week for him, all the rumours circulating. I know he's someone who is very professional, but it will get to you a little bit. And today, he did not help himself, having an absolute disaster class. He's got to forget about it, move on, but not a good day for him. One of the few positives to take from that game, though, was for Cody Gakpo, who, I've done a few videos recently on his consistency, and he continued that streak again with another goal today, making it 10 in 15 appearances. But even more than just the volume of goals, it's always the crucial timing. He gets the opener for us today to equalise. He scores crucial times against Brighton, Real Madrid, those sorts of games. I think even against City, he was the one who opened the scoring. It's always popping up with these big goals and big moments, and he has become very good at it. Obviously, we're so used to Mohamed Salah delivering for us, but he is also becoming pivotal in that sense of just getting those clutch goals in the right moments. And unfortunately, today it didn't send us on our way to victory like we hoped it would. But for him, he's just got to keep that graph going.